Remember when Warren Buffett talked about a certain way to get rich for sure? Yeah, he talked about investing in index funds which follows the market. So why does that work? Because the market is always improving, and an index fund, let's take the S&P 500 for example, measures the performance of the Fortune 500 companies. So if a company's performance becomes the 501st most richest company, it gets dropped out of the Fortune 500 index. Therefore, this ensures that the Fortune 500 index only has the 500 strongest companies, and the value of the index funds will always go up. This is why Warren Buffett is saying that investing in an index fund will make you rich for sure. Here's the problem though. Even if you are investing in hyper-aggressive growth stocks, your money will still not appreciate as quickly as you think it will. Now keep in mind, I am not an investing professional and everything I say is solely personal opinion. Therefore, you should take everything with a grain of salt and do your own due diligence before taking any action. Let's say you have $1 million today. A 4% return would give you $40,000 every year. But what if you only have $1,000? A 4% return would only give you $40. Do you see the point I'm trying to make? If you want money to work for you, well, first you gotta have a lot of money. And this is what we are going to discuss today. How you can increase your income before letting your money snowball, so that even with a conservative 4 to 8% of return, you can still see significant returns. If you are fresh out of high school or college, this section is probably for you. In my opinion, there are two ways. Let's talk about the first and most common way. Imagine you're a college student, right? You are studying and you are working a part-time job so that you can make enough money to support your lifestyle. But instead of working a job that does not use the skills that you learned in college, try applying for a job that actually allows you to demonstrate what you have learned in college. For example, you may apply for an unpaid internship if you have that luxury, or a part-time job in a company that you aspire to work for in the future. If not, you can still look for other companies in the same industry so that you can learn how professionals actually work in a real-life scenario and learn how to solve real-life business problems. In the future, this will translate into highly bankable skills because you already have a ton of experience and you already have the necessary network to actually make it in your industry. The second way is that if you are not planning to get into a professional field, you can still work any job you want, save up some money or start a business, depending on your plans. The idea is to accumulate resources, be that network or time or money, so that you can eventually start something on your own. Now here is a tip that I would give to most young people. If you are planning to work a part-time job to make your ends meet, try working in the food and beverage industry because most of the time your meals are covered by your employers. Try to negotiate for transport compensation as well, such as seasonal parking or a subsidy, so that you are able to save more money instead of spending it on transport and fuel. If you decide to be a professional in the field of your study, such as a doctor, engineer, lawyer, or any other professional, take the time to learn what employers actually value in professionals like you. What is it that you bring to the table that solves their biggest problem? You can learn this by going to LinkedIn, networking with people. You can ask them about their real-life experiences and maybe take some insights from them. You can also learn what customers value the most in your industry. Does your skill save them time? Does it bring them convenience? Do you help them to understand a very complex situation and provide a great solution for them? Are you able to articulate all of that? I may not be a professional in your industry, but I'm pretty sure if you take these tips, you are definitely way ahead of your peers. Once you have a few years of experience in your industry and you are working a full-time job, take some money and invest in yourself. What do I mean by that? Invest in some highly certified courses in your industry. Take a professional course and actually upskill yourself with proof that you have learned something. Leverage your certification and your knowledge to get a better salary, a better position, or a better working life for yourself that will eventually allow you to build something that you've always wanted. Here's the thing about being in your 20s. You are young, you are fresh out of college, you start as a blank slate, and the best part, you have nothing to lose and you can go hyper aggressive on whatever path you choose. You can go all in, you can pull all-nighters, you can choose to work overtime, paid or unpaid, just to learn more and catch up faster with your seniors. Of course, it is also important to take it easy and be aware of your mental health. So I leave that up to you to decide where is your balance. If you've done all of that and you still have some money left and you want to invest in high growth stocks or index funds, of course, I leave that up to you. But the general advice here is that since you are young and you can afford to take a higher risk, go for hyper aggressive stocks or aggressive index funds to maximize the potential profit that you can gain. I would assume you have some savings and personal commitments. You may be paying for your mortgage, your car loans, your medical life insurance, your PTPTN loans, your Netflix, Spotify, YouTube Premium subscriptions, or your OnlyFans subscriptions. The point is that you actually have to pay for something. You have something to lose. But you also have something that you did not have before, which is some amount of savings. So what can you do with your savings to actually maximize your potential? Well, let's see how much you have. If you have around $10,000 to $50,000, why not start a business? In this day and age, you can pretty much start a business from the ground up, just like that. Ask yourself, what are you good at? Do you provide a service? Can you sell a good that is not being sold in your community? That is up to you to do your own research, and we can talk about this in future videos as well. If you are a professional, why not consider selling your skills? Service-related businesses generally have a lower barrier of entry compared to e-commerce businesses. Even if you only have $10,000 in your savings, there are still things you can do. Let me break it down for you how you can spend this to create an online business for yourself. First, you can spend around $1,000 to create a really good website. You should research more on website hosting and domain names and what is the best way to acquire them. You may also upgrade your web hosting services once you have a higher revenue and you are trying to scale your website to accommodate more visitors. Next, you can budget around $2,000 just to spend on digital advertising. Ads used to be expensive. You used to have to pay tens of thousands of dollars just to get your face up the billboard, and no one will even notice it. But today, you can spend a fraction of that money and allocate your ads to where people will be paying attention at, which is social media and the search engine. If you are unfamiliar with this, you may talk to a freelancer or an expert on how you can run digital ads with a fraction of what you would pay for traditional advertising. Speaking from personal experience, I think $2,000 is a very reasonable advertising budget when you are just starting out. If you understand what you are actually doing, $2,000 can be plenty for your advertising budget. Next, you can budget around $3,000 to $5,000 just to build your systems. A business is run on systems. If you cannot create a system, your business will not be able to run efficiently. So as you scale, even just the first few months, you can consider hiring freelancers or subscribe to softwares just to automate your most mundane tasks so you can focus your energy on something that is actually productive. Don't cheap out when it comes to hiring freelancers and subscribing to softwares because these parts are crucial when it comes to managing your business. Again, it is not too late to upskill yourself. You can still spend money to get some highly certified courses from industry experts just so you can level up yourself. Remember, learning is a lifelong process and it is never too late to start. If you've got $100,000 in cash, First, I would like to congratulate you because it is not an easy task to achieve that in your early 30s. Of course, the advice of starting an online business still applies, and depending on your industry, the barrier of entry may be higher and you may require more capital. But of course, the more capital you have, the smoother things will run because you are able to hire more experienced people to actually manage your business for you. But if you don't like the idea of managing a business, why not take up an apprentice? As someone in your 30s, you must have had some experiences that your younger counterparts may not have. In this case, why not look for people that are worth investing time and money into? Take up an apprentice, train them, give them advice, and maybe share with them your visions. Perhaps you would find someone that has a very high potential. Find someone with promising skills and attitude. Try to invest in them and share with them your grand visions. A person with the right attitude and skill set will take away an astronomical amount of your worries. And if you find a group of these people, you can actually start something that has an impact. If you find the correct people to support your visions in a grand startup, of course, I'm pretty sure it will work very well for you. I have not done this before, but this is something I personally would like to try out in the future. If you have more than $250,000 of cash, even after doing all that, why not consider invest in some bonds? Bonds are usually reliable investment instruments because you are lending your money to a trusted party. Essentially, you are lending your money to the banks. Banks lend your money out to the consumers and they charge a higher interest, and this is where they make profit. And in terms of the supply chain, you are the supplier of the cash and your banks would be the retailers. Not sure if my terminology or explanation is fully correct, but please feel free to correct me in the comments. Now it is never too late to improve on yourself. If you are in this age group and you are still struggling financially, there are still ways that you can get back onto your feet. Think of it like this. What is it you have that others don't? That would be your valuable experience. So sell your experience. Start courses, create a community, start vlogging, blogging, podcasting. Try to educate the next generation of people who are in your industry. You can even use your negative experiences to teach something to the younger generation. Don't sell yourself short just because you have a higher age compared to other people. Get your phone up and start recording. Keep in mind that the power to influence people takes time and you should take it slow. Consistently upload even when time is against you, because your results will show itself in the near future, I hope. Talk about your experience and what usually people don't understand. Try to simplify it for them, give them nuggets, bits of information, keep them hooked for a bit so that they would be interested in your content. Now, what if you have a successful career and would like to transition to a more peaceful lifestyle? Just so you can spend more time with your friends, family, or your loved ones, and you want to take some time to travel, all that. You would have to establish your own working hours, be that through a remote job or starting a business. That is up to you. You can do the same thing by educating others with your experience and try to monetize it, or simply take out your large reserve of cash and start a business. If you think you are too old for this, remember KFC was started by a 70-year-old man. However, if you find your life to be very successful and you are very happy about it, I'm pretty sure you will find my content to be pretty arrogant. So what I am offering you today is merely my own personal opinion and perspective. And even so, I hope you take away something valuable from all of this. I made this video because I kept seeing posts and videos on social media saying that you should start investing in a young age. And I feel like sometimes this advice doesn't apply to people in our community because the creators are usually from outside of where we are. And I feel like it's pretty out of touch with us. So the reason I'm creating this video is to give a perspective on how you can increase your income before actually investing your money in it. Because even if you invest your money at a younger age with a lesser amount, you won't see significant changes when the returns are merely 4 to 8%. of what you have invested. So that's it. That's the end of this video. I would like to thank you for watching until the very end, and I hope you take away something valuable this time as well. I also hope that you are able to build a life that you are satisfied with by achieving your greatest potential, no matter who you are. See you next time.